not have to look that hard to find that we have a broken justice system. It is obvious. It is obvious. And if you guys would like me to provide you with documentation, websites, individuals, experts, lawyers, come see me after this press conference. And we can work on this. We can turn it into an expose. We can turn it into a special report. Whatever we need to do to make that happen, let's make that happen. But let's stop pretending like the people who are simply trying to fight so that we can survive are wrong. We are just the American people trying to take our country back. Can you report that, please? Thank you.
Question. So, if the delegates, and I've talked to them, the delegates really aren't listening to the protests, but you expected that. You say that the media isn't really covering them or doing it well, so they're not listening to you. There's certainly some of the shop owners don't like to have their windows broken by whomever. So, why bother? I mean, why march through the streets of the city if nobody's watching?
Well, one of the things we want to do. Why bother? Did you ever stop to look at the message the Poor People Economic Human Rights Campaign put out there? Why protest? Why take to the streets?
Yeah, who's your audience?
Check this out. It's the March for Our Lives. How about that? The March for Our Lives. You know, there was a terminology, a closed mouth don't get fed. We're not going to keep our mouths closed because we're not being fed already. So with the last breath, last ounce of energy, I like to expend minds exposing atrocities, crimes against humanity that's committed in this country every day. You see, America prides itself on being one of the biggest human rights defenders in the world. That's why we in Iraq, Afghanistan. They say there are human rights abuses taking place. You know, I come from a family and a culture, an American tradition that says you take care of home first. Before you go looking at what's wrong with your neighbor's house, why don't you fix up your house? You see, in all these marches these last couple of days, in every march, you heard one thing that was in unison. It's about the war in Iraq, about the budget being expended in Iraq, could alleviate poverty in America. It can house homeless people in America, but that's not being reported. Never will it be reported. Because they justify it that way. They justify $50 million with one image. The police locking up one protester. It was necessary. And let me say this too, because somehow I didn't get the chance to say this. I want the media to do this. What was the charge that they charged most of these people with? Conspiracies. Conspiracy. A thought. You thought to do something. Them was the conspiracy charges. Let's look at the main charge they're really trying to stick. Secondary furtherance of terrorism. When did that law come into place? 2002. 1 year after 9/11. You say there's a war on terrorism, or there's a war on American people right now? Because I'm confused right now what a terrorist look like. I'm really confused now. So this is what I decided to do for now, y'all. You see this? You know, it used to be a turban. It took a turban to be a terrorist. I encourage every American to do this from now on. You want to get shot, tased, tear gas, and file a suit against the American government? Put a handkerchief around your face, you become a terrorist. Excuse me. See, we have stereotype terrorism in this country now.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a while. Yeah, so I'm here with Eyewitness Video, and I actually just wanted to ask you to please, I saw that you had the Universal Declaration of Human Rights with you. Could you read us Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights?
That's also in there.
That would really help, because I think there's another article that's been violated over the past few days.
It's 9 articles actually that's been violated. I didn't know that for time restraints. I didn't go into them. So this one's gonna blow you away. In the land of free. Freedom, freedom, freedom. In the land of freedom, America. Freedom of opinion and information. You don't say. But let me point something out that might blow all y'all minds away. And you should know this. Could you believe America has not signed on to some of these treaties that they defend so that we don't have the freedom of opinion and information? Because America don't believe in economic, social, and cultural rights, nor do it believe in the conventions on the rights of a child. But it would defend it across the globe. What give us the right? What give us the right or the arrogance to do so?
In terms of the conversation with the media, just to follow that up quickly, the reason I wanted to bring that up is Article 19 is freedom of expression, basically, and freedom of the press. And over the past few days, we've seen Amy Goodman from Democracy Now! Arrested. We've seen 2 journalists from Free Speech TV arrested. We've seen journalists from KPFA. We've seen journalists from the indie media. I mean, we've even seen journalists from the AP arrested. So I just want to say one thing, that in terms of the conversation about why isn't the message then getting out there, because when journalists do actually get with the protesters and listen to what they're saying and try and get the story out about what people are saying, we're being followed, our spaces are being raided, our takes are being taken, we're being arrested, we're being pepper sprayed. So I think that that's also another little piece of the equation here, that the other journalists could also check in on that. And maybe you could just follow on that.
In Chicago, I'm from Chicago. Let me say this real quick. We don't have a media problem in Chicago. Our media got tired of being referred to as the plantation press, the slave press.
Right.
But they use that same fear. America capitalized off your fear. And a lot of reporters here won't admit it. They don't want to be tased, tear gassed, or locked up. But their counterparts are. And how many people reported that? So we don't have a lot of freedom that we fight for, and that we claim that in the land of free that we do. There is no freedom. Freedom to go to jail.
I was just wondering how many people from your group specifically actually have been arrested. Have there been many?
None.
No. Okay.
That's not true.
Oh, we got arrested? Oh, correction. Well, not during the action. But there was 4 total over the course of the week.
5 over the course of the week.
5 over the course of the week, none during the actual march.
So where were they detained?
They were
charged with something, or?
there were a couple of actions that took place prior to. One was Bushville over at Harriet Island, and the other was an action that took place over at HUD. And also, one other thing about who's listening, the who's listening question. Maybe the delegates aren't listening, but we've had a pretty good response from the 4 people in St. Paul and Minneapolis.